This video is about a bad cop who attacks a nurse's aide for allegedly touching his arm, and a mindset that you're not going to be able to relate with. On March 20th, 2026, Miss Naquasia Chisholm, who also goes by Nana, was out celebrating her birthday with her sister and some friends in downtown Savannah, Georgia. At one point in the night, her friend and her friend's boyfriend begin to argue on the sidewalk, where some Savannah police officers happen to overhear and decide to step in. And this is where the video begins, with Officer Jacob Spohn rushing over to assist with the arrest of the female subject who was one of Nana's friends.
There's cameras and I'll look at it. They're like, at what point do we just stop? You fight here, we fight here, we fight here, like, and then everyone's gonna be fucking pissed when they go to jail.
That's called drunk in public.
Hey, Dad, that's drunk. She's not even drunk. Blow me on my mama, I ain't drunk. Wait, calm down for a day. I'm just
Do not hit me.
Let's pause it right here for a second. We need to watch this again because it all happens really fast.
Blow me on my mama, I ain't drunk. Wait, calm down for a day. I'm just
Do not hit me. You don't hit me. You don't hit me. You don't put hands on me.
Officer Jacob Spohn claims that Nana hit his arm, so he uses two hands and all his might to shove her to the ground. The video does not show her touching him in any way, but even if she did accidentally touch his arm, that push to the ground would not be justified even if it were a man pushing a man. But I think it adds another layer when it's a man pushing a woman like that.
You don't hit me. You don't hit me. You don't put hands on me.
You dead ass wrong! You dead ass wrong! You push that girl! You had no reason to push her!
Yeah, because she hit my arm. I'll slam her on the ground next time.
My sister didn't touch
Go on.
She ain't touched you!
Yeah, she hit my arm, so I shoved her back.
That's fine, whatever, that's fine. It's great. Make sure you fuck straight, man.
65822. There you go, Officer Spohn.
What is this?
65822. I could arrest her for that.
No!
Yeah.
You pussy fuck out.
After she touched me, I could arrest her. That's how that goes.
I swear to God, my sister.
Want me to go arrest her now? Then go.
Y'all watch the cameras. That girl ain't touched you.
How about you go?
My sister didn't touch you. That girl crying on her birthday.
Who's responsible for her?
You pushed my sister.
Everybody needs to go.
What kind of man can justify pushing a woman like that over an accidental touch? In no other world can a man touch a woman like that and everybody be okay with it. Only police officers get away with acting like that, and you're about to see all his cop buddies be completely fine with what he did to her, even the female officers.
Yeah.
They got into his face, they touched him, he separated himself from them.
He really puts the okay. I understand that we watched the video footage. She laid his hand on him. You can't.
What? Okay, cool.
That's what I'm saying. You just like there's a whole fight going on right here. you can't just come into the middle and put your hands on law enforcement.
Or in general, like,
that's not okay.
also, like,
that's obstructing.
also, like,
that's battery on LEO.
and
we're not
and on top of that, like,
that's the thing.
y'all,
It's being good.
y'all don't want us just coming up and feeling up on y'all.
That's one of those.
Well, our sergeant's over there, so you can talk to him. End video.
And so not only do all the other officers back up Officer Spohn, but Spohn says he'd slam her on the ground next time.
She hit my arm. I'll slam her on the ground next time.
And in my opinion, this just further exposes the mindset of these lunatics. What if she was inebriated or just didn't catch herself? What if her head hit the concrete and this story was a much different story right now? But as far as the birthday party goes, in the end, nobody was arrested. Not even the friend that was in handcuffs for supposedly being intoxicated in public. And I think it's because they knew Spohn screwed up. The next day, Miss Chisholm went to the hospital to get her injuries treated, which we will get into later, and then she went to the Savannah Police Department to file an official complaint on Officer Jacob Spohn, and the complaint did open up an internal investigation. And about 5 weeks later, on April 30th, 2026, the Savannah PD completed the investigation, and big surprise, they found that the officer did engage in the alleged conduct and did violate a rule by doing so. Which is a surprise because they usually investigate themselves and find no wrongdoing. But any actual discipline on the officer is currently unknown. But let me ask you this. If Miss Chisholm pushed the officer like the officer pushed her, do you think it would have taken them 5 weeks to conclude that she broke a rule? Or do you think she'd still be sitting behind bars right now with felony charges waiting to speak to a judge? After the internal investigation completed, Ms. Chisholm reached out to civil rights attorney Roland Mumford, who practices in Arkansas, Tennessee, and Georgia. And they do plan to file a lawsuit against Officer Jacob Spohn. And Mr. Mumford did an interview with Ms. Chisholm on his YouTube channel called Mumford Law. Let's watch a few clips.
Were y'all just kind of having a good evening? How many of there were you?
Maybe about 4 of us. We went out to celebrate my birthday.
Are you in school or what do you do?
No, I am a CNA.
Excellent. So right here, as we kind of back up through this, it doesn't appear there's another officer immediately near you guys. Then the female officer approaches from the other side. She's not telling you what to do or telling you that you're doing anything wrong, correct?
Correct.
And I'm not saying that you did anything wrong, but you actually put your right hand in front of this officer. And if anything, that would have been possibly a charge for interference, but they didn't accuse you of that. Nobody is overreacting to you. Now, what were you doing right here, if you don't mind me saying? Asking.
I was like, calm down. You know how they get, calm down. And then I moved my hand, but he hadn't swatted anyways.
So you're trying to de-escalate the situation. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, because I didn't want her to overreact and anything else that goes further.
Okay. Anybody can see you're trying to put your arm around your friend to calm her down, correct?
Yes.
Tell us about that. What's going on right here?
So once I was like, I'm just telling her to calm down. She pushed my arm back to like, go up and move your arm. But he had and took both of his arms and pushed. He's
actually striking you.
It really looks like he's striking me twice. He put it up once, brought it back, and then used both hands.
Absolutely. That's excessive force, unnecessary use of force. Nobody was telling you they didn't even tell you to walk away. They weren't accusing you of interfering with their duties. He says, do not put hands on me. He's absolutely lying here, isn't he?
With a bold face lie.
You're obviously upset here. What are you thinking here?
Him being an officer went out my head. It was just more so I just got pushed.
I was thrown down to the ground by this officer for allegedly grabbing his arm and was told by a supervisor, if you want to see the camera footage, go to the precinct and get it. And then he walked off. I went to the hospital for my injuries. You had some injuries from this?
Yes, my hand, I had a blood clot and my foot was bruised.
And tell me more about this blood clot. What was that about?
It was from me trying to catch my fall.
And where was the blood clot?
In my right hand.
Well, fortunately, you didn't break a wrist or anything. Has this gotten any attention in the community? Has this been shared on Facebook, or what has happened?
No, I haven't spoke of it. I just spoke with it with my mom and my dad and like my sisters. That's it.
And how do they feel about all this?
They feel like something should be done to him because he not only did you push me, but you lied and said that I touched you, and you had other officers saying, "Well, you touched him. You could be in jail."
What do you want to see happen out of this?
He needs to be punished. And I also want an apology.
Are you wanting to possibly file a lawsuit against this officer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Do you think he should be fired for this?
Depending on how many times he's done it to anybody else. Because saying I touched you, it could have escalated farther than just a push. I could have been in jail. I could have lost my credentials.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience about your experience?
That's all. Keep your hands down.
All this happened with Miss Chisholm in March of 2026. Well, just a few months earlier, in August of 2025, 2 other viral videos came to surface of Savannah police using excessive force, and there was so much public outrage that the mayor was forced to address the public and announce new plans in effort to restore trust.
2 use of force incidents involving Savannah police really have sparked plenty of online debate this week. Mayor Van Johnson facing those questions during his weekly news conference that he held today. Mayor giving a few ideas to try and restore, Lydia Blackstone, community trust.
Over the weekend, this video surfaced of an officer pushing a man in handcuffs to the ground in the popular nightlife area of Congress Street. SPD responding saying the video was selectively edited. Mayor Johnson chiming in.
These viral clips that we love so much don't tell the full story.
Mayor Johnson says after videos like this, community trust gets called into question.
I want to bring into our community a use of force expert that will provide a citywide workshop about what use of force is.
So now, only 6 months later, it doesn't look like their plan to restore trust lasted as long as they hoped. And it makes me wonder, does Savannah police operate in a culture of violence that needs more than a workshop? And so I'm going to end this video by saying a couple things. First, I want to say thank you to Mr. Mumford for taking on civil rights cases like this. We need more attorneys in this space. And I want to say thank you to Ms. Chisholm for having the guts to stand up against bad government officials, especially a bad guy like this who has zero respect for the public. I will keep you updated on this, and I'll leave links to Roland Mumford's channel as well. And please don't forget to leave me your thoughts on this in the comments, and please like and share this video everywhere. Thanks everybody. I'll see you in the next one.